performance evaluation. Performance evaluation, it talks about that again deals with my internal audits, management reviews, whatever I have implemented in my artificial intelligence systems and processes needs to be evaluated. How will it be evaluated? By trying to use my internal audit system. Yes, internal audit is my team internally will audit it as well first. Then of course we'll go to the second audit and my third audit that can be a part of certification. Yeah. Then coming back to clause number 10 is my improvement, conformities, non-conformities. Yes, anything which is there, I will try to improve it, part of my clause number 10. Now, here on this side that I see is Annexure 1A and Annexure B. What does Annexure A and Annexure B stands for? These are the ideal controls, which is recommended in my ISO 42001 standards. Yes, reference control there, which is there, controls and objectives. And this is my implementation guidance for AI controls. So these are the ideal controls which is mentioned in Annexure A and Annexure B when you see those framework of ISO 42001. And if you see the one which is Annexure C and D are basically controls which will just inform, which will give you just the information of how to use those controls. If you want to use them, the options are there that you can use it. So these are optionals. Basically, this is something which is the ideal way of using it. Yeah. So this is coming back to my clauses, which you need to understand very carefully if you are an auditor or try to implement ISO 42001 in your organization. Okay, applicability of my ISO 42000. These are the use cases where my artificial intelligence are used in. Artificial intelligence is used everywhere nowadays. We create automations, we create AI agents, which is using different tools, and it automates my processes. It makes me do things automatically. Yes, but of course, then it comes back to my standards again, is how do I control these AIs? Yes. And some of the use cases that we are talking about is used in healthcare as well. Now, in the part of healthcare, I have used it in my diagnostic imaging, used in my MRI scans, CT scans. It will find out issues with your brains, issue with your body, joints automatically. Yes, drug discovery is another part that artificial intelligence is actually used in. Coming back to the second part of where the AI is also used in finance, where in finance it is used. It is used in fraud type of detections. Trading, it is used in the financial tradings. Yes, trying to see what stocks are going up, down automatically, it will give you results. And I can use this also in retail. Retail, it can give me personalized recommendations of what is suitable for me. Also allows me to manage my inventory, what stocks are available, automatically order. If there is a stock that is not there, it will automatically suggest to me that there are certain things which are available and certain things which are not available as well. Okay, and then of course, in the one that we have, artificial intelligence is used in self-driving cars. You've seen it in the United States and other parts of the world, which is very common, where you have self-driving cars, which automatically drives you around like taxis. Would be coming soon in India as well. We have education system, which is used, artificial intelligence is used in as well. It is used for adaptive learning platforms. It is used also in the part of automated, basically used in automated gradings. So if you do any of your tests, you have your prometric test or any of your multiple choice tests, automatically it gives you marks based on the questions that is there and the actual difficulties of the questions that is there. Other part where the AI is also used is basically manufacturing. Manufacturing, it is used in basically predictive maintenance. So if you need to do maintenance of your machineries, yes, it allows you to do this, what time it will fail, what's the last service it was done. it would allow you to manage that also. Sorry, coming back to my slide again. Quality control is another part also, which is used in manufacturing. Artificial intelligence is also used in quality control. And then coming back to customer service. Customer service nowadays, you see a lot of chatbots and virtual assistants used. It's used in voice assistant as well. Now, what you can do in artificial intelligence as well, you could take certain amount of data, you have your information, create your own chat box, and put in your information. It will give you exactly the thing that you ask for. Yes, based on your chat box. Yes, virtual assistants. Yeah, you have voice assistants as well. It allows you to understand text. So we have text to speech recognition also, which is a part of your voice assistants. Then you have another feature of your AI, which is used called as the natural language processing, allows you to translate different languages as well. So this is a part of AI which is used. You have sentiment analysis, again, a part of your natural language processes which is used. Then in cybersecurity, which is very critical as well. Nowadays, cybersecurity is a part, allows you to analyze your different patterns. Yes, allows you to find any of the detections in cybersecurity and gives you, this is the issue here, this is a pattern which is not matching. Yes, allows you to match that. And also second part is also threat intelligence. Allows you to give intelligence for any of the threats which would be there. And of course, the last part is your agriculture it is used in. It is used for precision farming and crop monitoring as well. So these are all the different sectors that your AI can be used in. ISO 42001 implementation roadmap. Now, as you see here, I have planning and gap analysis, policy development, risk management, implementation, internal audits, and my continuous improvement process. Yes. Again, if you see the process down, it talks when you try to implement your ISO 42000, it talks about the cycle plan, do, check, and act. Yes. What does planning include? Planning here includes what your risk is there, plan for your risk, how do you achieve your objectives? Yes, what is your change management? All is a plan of your planning part. Then you have design and development as well. Yes, this again takes place in your planning part. So plan, do is how do I actually implement my AI systems processes. That is a part of my implementation. Coming back to evaluation is plan, do, check. I need to have my evaluation, performance evaluation. Now, I talked about metrics. In the coming slides, we will talk about metrics. How do I use my metrics? I use my key performance indicators in the, yes. And the fifth step is continuous improvements. Yes. Any observations that I have, how do I clear it out? Any issues that I have in my risk, how do I clear those issues as well? So these are my five steps, five phases again, which is there. Scope of my ISO 42001 2023. What is the scope of my ISO 42000? What does it apply to? Where is it applying to? It is organizations of all sizes and types, either be it public, private, or a non-profit that will develop, deploy, or operate AI systems. So it is there for all of them that operate AI systems. Yes. What is it? It's a framework to ensure that AI systems are managed in a way that is aligned with the organizational objectives, complies with the regulatory and the ethical standards, and is trustworthy and transparent. What does it do also? It helps the organizations manage AI in a structured and a responsible manner, ensuring that the integration of AI governance, ethics, risk management, and embedded operational management within the organizational framework. So this is what it allows me to, it applies to any of my systems that operates AI systems. Okay. Very key aspect of my context of my organization is to find out who my stakeholders are. As I spoke again, is what is determine my internal, external stakeholders who will influence or are affected by my AI systems. You need to define the stakeholders and the compliance requirements in a structured process. Define my compliance requirements. So once you are trying to understand the needs of the organization, you need to understand what are the legal systems that will apply to my artificial intelligence as well. So my compliance is normally to my legal standards which are there. Yes, assess my legal, ethical, industry specific, specific regulations that govern AI applications. Assess my impact. Now, what is the impact of my AI application or my system? Compliance requirements affect AI governance, risk management, and my operational workflows as well. So impact is very important. What is the impact of this? Develop a compliance plan. Of course, I need to create a structured roadmap for integrating compliance into my AI systems as well. Yes, a compliance planning is very important. Implement the plan. Deploy AI governance frameworks and train stakeholders on the compliance protocols. Again, monitor regular audits to ensure compliance with the evolving regulations. Coming back to my final part is monitoring and review, which is a part of my continuous improvement. So again, finding out my internal and external stakeholders is very critical when if I need to understand the context of my organization. Okay, coming back to my clause 5, which is leadership. Setting my AI policies and my objectives is very important. I need to understand the actual strategy of my organizations. What is the organization trying to achieve? Once I understand what my organization wants to achieve, I can base my policies based on that. I can also assign my roles and responsibilities, find out what the use cases are, where will I be using these, and what is the organizational frameworks? Yes, what is the ethical and the compliance standards that I use, which is very critical. Again, align my AI initiatives with the organizational goals and my ethical principles. Determine specific applications where AI can enhance my efficiency. Define my roles and responsibility are part of my AI governance process, which is there. Ethical and compliance standards, again, coming back to what I said earlier, was fairness, transparency, and your accountability principles. You need to stick to the AI principles when you implement your AI, your actual ISO 42001. Develop AI risk management protocols, which is also important. Find out potential AI related risk and your mitigation strategies. Again, we will be talking about the risk treatment plans. Is once I identify my risk in my AI systems and processes, what is the way I will control them? How will I mitigate them? Will I accept them? Will I transfer my risk? So what is it? What are the risk treatment plans that I would be using? Define my AI performance metrics as well. Part of my actual ISO 42001 is also defining my key performance in key performance indicators to measure my AI effectiveness and my impact as well. Defining my roles and responsibilities is very critical. A part of my clause number 5, leadership. Yes, who is my executive leader? What is my management? Who's my management board? Yes. What is the AI development and my engineering team? What is their roles and responsibilities? Compliance and my risk management team. So I need, when I'm developing my documentation, when I'm doing my ISO 42001, I need to specify this very clearly. What is my AI ethics and my responsible AI committees which are there? What is my AI operation and my monitoring team which is there? So this is very critical in your AI governance, ensures your accountability, compliance, and your ethical oversight. So what does the executive leadership and your governance board do? Yes, tries to establish AI governance policies aligned with ISO 42001. I have my AI development and my engineering teams implement AI models with transparent and bias mitigation, which we had talked about earlier as well. Then we have compliance and my risk management team. What does that do? Monitor AI systems for the regulatory adherence and risk part. I have my AI ethics and my responsible AI committees, define ethical guidelines for my AI applications. I have AI operations and monitoring teams, allows me to track AI system performance and my actual reliability. Coming back to clause number 6, which is planning, which is the heart of my ISO 42001. What does it talk about? It talks about risk and opportunities. Understanding my risk and opportunities is very critical, part of my ISO 42001. What is my risk? Potential risk, potential threats could impact my actual operations. So when I try to develop anything, an agent or something which has got multiple tools attached, there's an automation process that is done. What is the impact to my organization? What is the likelihood of an impact? What happens when there is an impact? Yes, very important that I find out what my risk is. What is the opportunity? There might be opportunities in my risk as well. Yes, try to find out what the growth areas is, enhance efficiency and my innovation as well. Try to assess my risk, find out what my risk is. I do quantitative, qualitative analysis. In the coming slides, we will be seeing qualitative analysis of my risk. Yes, what is the way that I do my risk? What is the way there is a likelihood, and what is the impacts of that risk? Okay, and then I do something called as my thing called as opportunity evaluation. Try to assess opportunities based on feasibility and my strategic alignment, mitigation, and my action planning. As I say, what is the treatment that I plan for? And of course, I need to minimize my negative impacts as well. If you look at this slide here, it talks about my risk metrics graph with the likelihood and the impacts. On my left-hand side, you can see the likelihood of an impact. What happens if an impact happens? Yes. The part in the green is the impact is low. You see something in amber and yellow, which is the medium impact, and anything in red, which is high impact. So whenever you're doing an assessment of any of the risks, this is a part of your qualitative risk analysis. If it's rare, see the impact is rare, and if the likelihood is also rare, so it will be rare as well. If you have the impact which is unlikely, and if it's rare, it is also green here. But if it's unlikely impact and there's an unlikely likelihood, so that will be amber as well. If you have an unlikely impact and a very likely possibility of an impact, the impact will be high. So this is how you measure your risk matrix graph with the likelihood and the impacts which are there. Yes, it's very important that you understand this particular matrix which is there. Coming back to my support, which is clause number 7. What does it talk about? It talks about resource allocations. What is my resource required? Human, technological, and financial resources that is required. Trying to implementing AI or a strategic initiative. Sorry, coming back to my slide. You need a balanced allocation of human, technological, and my human resources. So a part of my human resources that I require, I need to allocate it. Like for example, I would require AI specialist, which would be data scientist and machine learning engineers. I need the one that is technological resources. I need computing infrastructures. So that is something that I require from the part of technological resources. I would require high performance GPUs, graphical processing units that I would require, cloud computing, and edge AI systems. Now, when I talk about edge AI systems, what I talk about smartphones, something which is not centralized, something which is on your smartphones, which is on your one call is the actual Internet of Things, which is in your house, your lights, which is automatically managed by your AI. Then again, financial resources is very important also. Funding for your AI research is very critical. Trying development is a part of it. Then also I require infrastructure setups, which is a requirement for my initial investments. Again, a part of my staffing support is my staff requirements is very important. Training of my staff, competency development is very critical. Identify my core competencies, define essential skills and knowledge areas required for my success, trying to establish competency frameworks. Yes, effective staff training and competency development is very much required in the part of my ISO 42001. Designing learning objectives and my assessment criteria. How would I set clear training goals to measure employee progress? Training is very important. Awareness is very important for the staff as well. When I have resources, when I manage my resources, developing learning content and my resources, try to utilize interactive training modules, workshop, and my electronic learning platforms. Try to implement training programs, conduct onboarding sessions, leadership training, and my technical skills workshops. And again, the final part comes to evaluating my program effectiveness. Again, when I say program effectiveness, it also deals with my key performance indicators, which we will be talking about in details in the coming slides. A part which is very much required is my AI related infrastructure setup. Setting up my AI infrastructure requires structured approach. So I need scalability, so I need efficiency, and I require security. So what do I require in my AI infrastructure is my computing power, data storage, AI model development, security and compliance, and my networking integration. Now, when I talk about computing power, so if I'm developing certain tools, as I talked about my applications, I talked about my processes, and I talked about my systems that which I try to make in my AI. What I require is computing power, which is very critical. I would be hosting it where? On the cloud, or I would be doing it internally in my premises. So what is the computing power that I require? Very important that I use it. Yeah, data storage is also very critical. Need to understand how my reporting would be. Data lakes is normally used for your reporting part of it. Is my data structured or not structured? When I talk about structured data is where it's part, it is a part of my database where I can access data, relational database is there when I can access my data. When I talk about one which is not structured would be my social media posts, my emails would be data which is not structured. So, so my data storage and management is also critical. I also have my one called it my AI model development and deployment. Machine learning frameworks are also very important that I use for my model development and deployments. I have my security and my compliance AI governance frameworks, which are aligned to my ISO 42001. We have my networking and my integration if I use edge AI computing for my real-time processing. Yes, so edge is again, as I said, it is not centrally located. It is located at the end, might be at the IoT level, might be at the your smartphone that I use my actual AI, which is again part of my operation, which is clause number 8, operational controls, AI risk assessment and my risk treatment. So AI risk assessment and my risk treatment is not only used in the planning part of it. Once I actually implement also, I would require it to be a part of risk assessment and my risk treatment plan. So my AI risk assessment framework finds out any risk which is there, any biases which is there, any security vulnerabilities are there, and any ethical concerns which would be there. So part number 2 that I have also said about is my risk treatment strategies. So your risk treatment will involve what? Either you mitigate your risk, try to accept your risk, transfer your risk, yes, or basically don't do anything about it. Basically. So this is my risk treatment strategies, apply mitigation and your techniques for your AI bias and your security threats. Again, coming back to my third point, which is operational controls for AI governance, define accountability structures for my AI risk management. So accountability is very important. Yes, I need to be things people need to have kind of any issues that happen. People need to be accountable for those issues, any of the consequences which are there, any impacts which happens. Yes, people have to be accountable. Roles and responsibilities have to be defined. Okay, coming back to my clause number 9, which is performance evaluation. Setting AI performance indicators. Setting AI performance indicators ensures that the AI systems aligns with my business objectives, maintains accuracy, and operate efficiently. Here's the structured upload is where I defined AI performance metrics. Latency is what? Is if there is any delay. So when I have my key performance indicators, which will say is what was the delay? When I tried to implement my AI application, it started about 5 seconds late. So if I started 100 times, among 100 times, what is the key performance indicator for that? So there is latency also that can be a part of my key performance indicator. Throughput as well, resource utilization to measure system efficiency as well. So how well is my system performing? Yes, what is the performance of my system? That can be also a part of a metrics which is used. Very important as a part of ISO 42001. Metrics is very important when you are auditing or trying to implement this. Then again, coming to part number 2, establishing monitoring evaluation frameworks. Now, dashboards are very important. Yeah, from the point of view of seeing how your controls are managing. Yes. Is it doing well? What is the efficiency of your controls? Yes. How do you manage this? You have your dashboards which are there, which will allow you to see how your AI performance is there. Basically, align your AI KPIs with your actual compliance requirements for your ISO 42001. Coming to continuous improvement and optimization also. Then again, KPIs can be used to have your continuous improvements. If I see my latency, for example, what are the delays in trying to run my AI application and process, it will allow, see the actual metrics will allow me to give what is the latency, what is my improvements which is happening. So ensure AI systems remain aligned with the evolving business needs. Okay, performance evaluation also involves what? Trying to do internal audits. Before external audits take place, you need to have your performance evaluation. Is your risk analysis proper? Is your risk planning proper? Is your risk treatment proper? Is your controls proper? Is your statement of applicability proper? What is your statement of applicability? Is the controls that you've used? Yes, that's a part of your statement of applicability. Is that properly used? Yes, what are the controls that is there? What is the improvements of the controls? Yes, is it effective or not effective? So again, conducting internal audits and management reviews ensures compliance, operational efficiency, and my continuous improvements as well. So you have internal audit process, ensures compliance with your ISO 42001 for defining audit criteria. Now, what is my audit criteria if I talk about it? So if I talk about audit criteria is what? My fairness, accountability, it all has to biases are taken care. So those are my criteria for managing my audits. Yeah. Scheduling audits based on risk assessments. I will assess my risk and try to conduct evaluation using standardized methods, reporting findings, implementing corrective actions as well. Management review is very important as well. Once I do my internal audits, it has to be reviewed by the management. Any of the observations that I have needs to be also known to the management. They will review it and give their processes as well. Focuses on assessing audit outcomes, evaluating AI systems, performance, defining improvement strategies, ensuring continuous compliance with ISO 42001 and other relevant standards which are there. Again, management review process is very important. Coming to the last part of my standard of my actual ISO 42001 is basically continuous improvements, handling non-conformities and compliance gaps. So if I have any observations which is there, yes, I would try to also detect it, compliance gaps through audits, inspections, stakeholder, try to find it out and documentation. So I will identify it and I will document it. Yes. I will try to understand what are the root causes for this issues which is there. Try to assess whether gaps stems from process inefficiencies, training deficiencies, or system misalignment. So once I do my final audit, I find certain observation non-conformities. Yes, I will give it to the management. I will tell these are the observations that I found. This did not comply as per the ISO 42001 standards. Yes, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to comply. Yes, and you need to understand what are the root causes for this as well. Again, and trying to take corrective actions for this. So you need corrective action planning, define corrective measures to address your root causes. So any of the non-conformities I have, I need to take corrective actions to resolve it. Very important. Yes, if I need to go for certification when I'm implementing, yes, I need to have my corrective action planning, which is a part of it as well. Okay. Coming to part number 4, trying to implement and monitor, apply any corrective actions while ensuring minimal disruptions to the operations as well. So when I'm trying to implement anything, yes, make sure that there is minimum disruptions, which is there. Verification and closure, which is very important as well. Yes. Once I have any observations, once I give, and there is something which has been mitigated, any of the risks, any of the controls which has been mitigated, yes, any of the issues which have been mitigated, what is the verification and the closure for that? As an auditor, you need to make sure that it is understood, that the issue has been resolved, yes, confirm with the actual resolution, which is